Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got your boys here, Bert, the Herd, and Lanny, the Dividend Diplomats, the best dividend investors out here in all of social media, guys. We're filming this again April 2nd, and today's video is all about where are they now? Where are the stocks that I sold in 2024, and how did they perform since I hit the sell button?
Where are they now? The Diplomats edition. Before we jump in, smash that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Holla at your boys, the Dividend Diplomats. We are dissecting our dividend portfolios. We're dissecting the market with the goal of reaching financial freedom together.
Guys, that we are. So today we're going to go through, you guys remember in 2024 was a big cleanup year. I think I exited a dozen positions or so out of my portfolio, going from the low to mid 70 stock positions down to the low 60 something stock positions. And with that, we're going to look today at the five, largest outside of WestRock, but the five largest stock sales that we had or that I had in our household here, guys. They're not any order, but figured, let's go through five stocks. We're going to look at a few pieces of data here to see where they are now. We're going to list the ticker symbol. We're going to talk about the company, for 2 seconds. We're going to talk about, the date that I sold them, the price that they were at, and the price where they're at now as of the close of April 2nd here on a Wednesday, and what return that was, just doing the simple math of share price change over the prior share price that I sold them at, and seeing kind of where, that percentage return is.
And this will be fun because we make decisions for our portfolio, buying or selling, based on the best information we have at the time. Some transactions work out, sometimes they don't, but it's always done with the best intent. We like to bring you in these videos our thought process, the why, and we can all learn from them together. So taking a look back at the stocks you sold last year to see what's gone on since then is going to be a really fun exercise. I don't think it's one we've ever done on this channel before.
No, never. Yeah, never done before, guys. You guys are seeing it first take, and let us know if you want to see more of these for the stock sales that we have, because, lately there have been plenty of them as we're trying to, reduce the craziness to the stock portfolio by owning 40, 50, 60 something plus stock positions. But I don't even know how many individual stock positions you have. I know I'm still around the 60-ish mark.
I think I'm in the 60 to 70 range too. I've been trying to slim down. I've gone through some aggressive periods. They always come in clumps for me. I usually get pissed off and I just sell them and then go. It's like a quiet, and then boom, they're gone.
No emotions, man. Only use the facts. But guys, let's
get pretty emotional because I just get to the point where I'm like, F it, I want these things out of here.
Guys, we're going to get into the first stock. Not the first stock that I sold, but just the first stock that came to mind when I thought about stocks I sold last year.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about 3M, ticker symbol MMM. We're going back to September 26, 2024. 3M was riding high, I think, after they settled some of the lawsuit items, and they were hovering around the 140. In fact, I sold them right with the limit order, it looks like, at $140 flat per share, guys. I sold out. Now, Bert, what have they been doing, over the last, call it 6 months?
All right, well, let's pull up the 3M stock chart here just to see what's been going down over the last 6 months.
What's been going down?
You had a period where it traded well. It immediately right after it dipped down into the 120s per share, kind of hung tight, kind of bobbing up and down above 130, some periods of up to 135, back below, back up, back below. And then in January, it shot up above 140, above your sell price. Right now, it's closed at 147.76, but it has not been below 140 per share since middle of January.
So there you have it. Definitely had dropped, afterwards, and then now it's back up and it has hung up. It has returned 5.54% in that time frame that I have sold it, guys. So if you held on to 3M since then, you're up another 5.54%. I know they resumed and came back to dividend growth because that was one of the reasons was they had a dividend cut because of the spinoff to Solventum, I believe, which solve and momentum, combining those two words. And that company might also be on this list. Just a little
stay tuned. But they're not the next one on this list here, Lanny. Number 2. This one. Bane of our existence for a long time.
Yeah, and dang, this one has done great if you held on beyond the date that I sold them. And I think you still own them, right, Bert?
I do. I haven't held on, but I'm still in a loss position for this one. We're talking Warner Brothers Discovery, ticker symbol WBD.
Yep, guys. So again, same date actually, September 26th last year, sold out. I think I needed some losses to offset the Westrock gain. I think this is where those losses came from.
Yeah, you did it in one batch. It was a chunk that you did all these transactions.
And
Sorry.
I have gotten my tax form, and I pretty much was damn near close to net zero. So, but that's for another day. And so I sold Warner Brothers Discovery for $8.42, guys. And man, again, just because the content wars, streaming wars, debt wars, tough to be profitable. And they're now trading at $10.56,
Mhm.
guys. So
Yeah.
they got a 25% resurgence, crushing it since then. So, for all those that held on beyond that September timeframe, congrats, because you've got 25% more value back. Now, how much is that if you own like $500 worth? Well, not that much.
That's the other part of the decision. And it's not as if they're kicking the result out of the water. They're just not performing as poorly as they had in the past. So that's
Yeah, and this was a relatively small position, in my portfolio.
hey, you win some, you lose some. Let's move on to number three and see if number three is in the winner category or the loser category.
Oh yeah, this is the best performer that has happened since I sold. So 3M kind of mediocre, 5.5% return. Warner Brothers Discovery climbing 25% return. Again, we teased it then with 3M, Solventum, ticker symbol SOLV, the spinoff from 3M. Sold them June 24th, 2024 at $52.82,
Man,
guys. Man, Bert, what have they done?
well, they have jumped. They are up 45%, Lanny, from where the point where you sold them. They up 45%. Their price is now 76.62 at the time of this
Who
video.
would have thought that that would have outperformed 3M, the company itself?
Not I. That is for certain. I'm just pulling up their chart now here in Google Finance, so hang tight with me for a second. Its peak, Lanny. Would you believe this? Its peak was 84.04 at the end of
When was
February.
that?
End of February.
Good for them.
My God, the 52-week high
Shareholder.
is 85.92. So
Hey, a company I had no idea about, didn't want anything to do with it. And
yeah.
well, it looks like it's saying, hey, we're fine without you, Lanny. So congrats to anybody that's held.
That's the
So
bulletin board material in their CEO's office. It just says Lanny sold us.
so this is where it gets interesting. Um, because you had one that's like done this, two stocks that have definitely popped above the average over the last
Mm-hmm.
however time period that I sold them.
Yep.
Now, again, this is five. So this would be a good test. Two that have performed well, one that's kind of just done nothing when you actually think about it. Um, let's get into the next stock here, guys. There was a stock that I sold Q1 of last year, in February 12th, called MDU Resources Group, ticker symbol MDU. Now, their yield was low and their growth was low, and they had some spinoffs that I just kept getting, and I did sell off them. I sold them at $20.32. And fast forward now, they're now trading at
Oh man.
$17.04. So, um,
You really picked it at the you
no,
really
it came up a bunch. It came up a little bit after, I think.
no, I don't think so. I'm on Google Finance right now. It says the year range is
Oh,
1298 to
yeah.
2032. I think you picked the peak on this one for your sale price. Like
Unless they adjust. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
that's
Yeah.
impressive. If you got the 52-week high sale price for MDU, that's fantastic because it's come down ever since then. So this one, this one was a big winner for you. Because right now it's what 1704, so it's down 16%.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, you got to feel okay about that
Yeah.
move. Again, this was one where I had a decent chunk because I was buying it kind of at the COVID time period. And,
Yeah.
um, but it was just like, hey, I'm not going to add to
No.
it. It was all about the growth factor to me. And I'm like, you know what? I don't understand the business much anymore because it just kept spinning off all these other little things like Knife River Corp.
Yeah, I was just about to read their about on Google Finance, a US-based corporation supplying products and services to regulated energy delivery and utilities-related construction materials and services businesses.
Yeah, they're in construction, they were in
Yeah,
energy, they were just doing things.
yeah. Get out. Makes all the sense in the world. You don't know the business. You don't want to add to it. It's not a large position. It checks three major boxes for getting the F out of your portfolio.
So that was a fourth stock. So let's get into the fifth stock. And this was probably the biggest one that I exited between that or 3M. Um, MDU was up there, but let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the chemical space with Dow Chemical Inc. Ticker symbol DOW, Dow, not to get confused with the Dow Jones Industrial. This is Dow stock, which is always hard to search the stock price because search results does not like it.
No, it does
Um,
not.
but I sold them on October 25th, 2024. So not too long ago. We're talking 5-ish months ago. Bert, I sold them at $50.33.
Yeah, you really timed this one well because right now they're trading at 34.89, down 30% since that time. And I'm jealous because I didn't follow suit in selling
I
down.
was pushing you,
You
man.
you were. I didn't do it. I held on a little longer and well, now I'll be waiting for it to get back to that price, I guess.
And I'm mad because, there was a point where even around this time last year, they were trading around $60 a share. We came out with a video or two because they were high and hot on the list of dividend stocks that I had a fear that could cut their dividend. I think they have over 100% dividend payout ratio.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's $50 a share. I think it was almost like a break even stock. I have to look back at my forms. But I exited Dow and Bird. Yeah, it is down 30.68% since then in just a 5-month time frame.
Beautiful. So yeah, you caught this one right when you needed to. So again, this was the big winner for your sales. So I think if it was your largest position in the best timing of it, I think you overall are a winner despite some of the other ones that have popped, but were much smaller positions.
And guys, just to do a frame of reference, if I sold, at $50.33,
Mm-hmm.
and it's now trading at $34 and what is that, 89 cents?
Yeah.
So if you guys do the math, what you guys should do is take $50.33 minus that. That's $15.44, right? So then you divide that 15.44. If you want to climb back now to $50, what you have to perform is you have to now have a return. Remember, it's lost 31%, but to get back, you actually have
Mhm.
to return 44%.
Yeah, so you got a while to go. And same here for me. So for me to get back to that price, if I make it that long while holding Dow, I got a long way to go.
Damn. So guys, that's the five
Okay.
stocks. Where are they now? It's funny. Two stocks have done very well since I sold. So congrats to the holders. Two stocks have done terrible since I've sold. So
Mm-hmm.
again, and then I have one that kind of was even.
Yeah,
So at
one
the end
that's
of the
me.
day, this is almost like an average, like it's almost like without going into the market values and the gains and losses, it's almost like, oh, yeah, I did average, right?
Again, that's why you don't time. You use the best information you have at that moment, and you move on from there. And the other piece is where you invested them too. So that's the other side of the equation. That's a
Yeah,
video for a different day, though.
definitely. And a lot of these industries too, again, I'm not an expert. So, as soon as I had a chance to exit some of the businesses that just the metrics alone I didn't like, I took that opportunity, as well as for some simplicity and tax loss offsets. So, guys, those are the five stocks. Let me know if you like this video, guys. Let me know if you ended up selling any of these five stocks during 2024, or if you actually held on to some of these stocks all the way through today watching this video.
If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And Lanny, what do we need to tell all the diplomaniacs out there?
Listen up, you jabronis. You're either with us or you're against us, Jack. That was Bert the Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.